Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. Back in studio with us this morning is Naomi Garrick from Garrick Communications. And boy, do we have a lot of talks about. That's why she's in PR and communications. Naomi, the last time we spoke about the importance of the different platforms and building out brands or companies.
Yes.
But, I know, for instance, you've done marketing and PR for a number of the companies that are listed on the stock exchange coming to IPO. Tell me about that process and how important it is for those companies.
Sure. So we have over the last few years been working with quite a few companies on their IPOs and APOs and other public offers as well. Most recently, we've been working with One Great Studio, which, as you know, would have been the first company to announce an IPO this year for 2023. So they will be the first digital marketing agency to be listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, the junior market. But it is a process. It is, again, because PR is about strategic communication, we don't wait until the IPO to start doing PR for a company that's going to do an offering. We start for months before. So like a great One Great Studio, we would have been working with them from as early as May in discussions from last year, getting an understanding of what the offer was going to be, who they were targeting, and how they wanted to be positioned as a company going out into this space. Because what a lot of people didn't realize is that OneGS has been around for over 10 years, but we just started seeing information about them this year. But of course, that's strategic. So we started with talking about the One Great story, 10 years great. So we did some PR around just really educating the market about who OneGS is, who the leaders are behind the company, who's the board of directors, what is it that they bring to this digital marketing space that's different. And then, of course, why should you want to invest in a company like this? So what we do is we break out our PR for something like this with pre, during, and post. So pre would be all of that lead up months before, just sharing different stories that will really educate the public and potential investors about this company before they even knew that an offer was coming. And then during the IPO, we would now do the announcement of the IPO, and we would have more IPO specific PR. So speaking specifically to information that's in the prospectus, coordinating different types of interviews, so traditional, right? So that's newspapers, radio, TV, but then also digital platforms like a CBX. I believe they actually have an interview coming up as well here, like a KRM, and all the different platforms that are available online. But then also doing some interactive engagement. So, for example, they would have done something with Stocks on the Rocks out at Palisados, where now potential investors could actually really personally ask them questions and really learn about them. And now that the IPO has closed, we'll be looking at the post-IPO information. So what's the basis of allotment? How much was the oversubscription? And then, of course, the amazing listing ceremony that will happen here at the JSE, right? And then you, as a listed company, it is important now that you have shareholders to be continuously sharing information about this company that they are now a part of. And so PR really plays a very important role before the listing, and more importantly after, so that you're continuously engaging with your audience and letting them know about all the things that are happening. And it's not just business, it's also your corporate social responsibility and just different activities happening within the company.
That's excellent. And we've seen it with companies that have been listed. Prior to IPO, many times we knew nothing about these companies, but all of a sudden, their profile just changed altogether.
And you know why? I honestly think it's because a lot of companies don't understand PR or the value of PR. There are some companies that they get it from day one, right? So we have companies that we work with on a continuous retainer that we are continuously sharing stories about them every single month across different types of platforms depending on what's happening. And so that when we do something like an offer, they already are aware, but now we're speaking more specifically to things related to the offer. But they have an awareness of this company already, which helps to build trust. You are seen as possibly an expert in this particular field or space. And when you hear the name, you know a little bit of something because maybe you saw an article or you saw this person on an interview.
Speaking about the name, I noticed certainly that the board is comprised of some big names, and that's one of the things that we see coming to the fore. How important it is for business people generally, people in corporate, to ensure that while they may be with a company, that their personal brand is put out there and put among the
Absolutely.
right
So
audience.
I like to say that your personal brand is not your job title, right? And we have this habit of, even when we're just introducing ourselves to someone, right? So I could say, "Hi, Nielsen. I am Naomi Garrick, the CEO of Garrick Communications."
Yeah,
Okay, but if you don't know what Garrick Communications is, that's of no help to you and of no help to me. But if I were to say, "Hi, Nielsen, I'm the CEO of Garrick Communications, and what I do is I help to build brands. And I do this by leveraging media relations, corporate communication strategy, and leveraging different types of media to get your story told to your ideal audience." Then you might be saying, "Oh, maybe I could actually use your services, or I know someone that
might
may need
need.
to use their services." Or if someone says to you, "Hey, have you ever heard of Garrett Communications?" You may not remember everything, but you can say, "I think they help with building brands."
Yep.
Right? And so, same thing for an individual. You have to think about, what do you want to be known for, right? In your space. How do you want to be seen as an expert or thought leader? And personal branding helps the individual, but it also helps the company that you work for. Because at the end of the day, we connect with people more than we do with businesses or brands.
True.
And so I will trust you more than actually this brand that I'm seeing. So if I know that you work at this company and I see you as an expert and a reputable source of information, I may consider taking my business to this company because
Just
of how
because
you
you-
represent yourself and by extension the company brand. And so it is very, very important that individuals really understand the importance of building their own personal and professional brand, and also remembering that it's very difficult to separate yourself from the professional brand as well, because sometimes people only associate with you because they know of your association with a
With
company.
that brand.
And so you need to show what is your value in this company. So let's say you're an HR manager and I'm searching for an HR manager, even on a platform like LinkedIn. Why would I choose you over the 10,000 other HR managers that are on this platform? What makes you different? What is it about the way that you do HR as a manager that makes me want to choose you to work with my company? And so personal branding is really about understanding who you are, what you want to be known for, how do you make people feel when they interact and engage with you, what is your area of expertise, and then more importantly, what is the unique problem that you solve because of your own journey, which includes your skills, your expertise, your knowledge, and your education. Because we all have our own journeys, right?
Very important points that you're putting out there, Naomi. So we have persons, young persons, who are online, they're on social media, and they're just out there, they're doing things, they're putting themselves out there every day. Are they aware, by and large,
So
that they positively or negatively
Yeah.
are building a brand?
So Warren Buffett has a quote that goes something like, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and only 5 minutes to ruin it." And in this growing digital age that we live in, we can ruin our reputation like that, right?
Yes.
So a screenshot, a tweet, a voice note, a picture, a video, a WhatsApp message. We get those forwarded WhatsApp messages all the time.
Yep.
And that can ruin your reputation. What a lot of young people and even professionals don't realize is that every time they post something, like something, comment on something, they're leaving a digital footprint of their brand.
Yes.
And this may be the first and only chance that someone gets to have an interaction with you before actually meeting you in person. And so for me, I'm not about, I want people to be their most authentic selves. That's great. But you also have to remember, one, many people work for companies. People associate you with those company brands. So a lot of people will say that, well, my personal brand is my personal brand and I only work at this company 9 to 5. But we find that when an employee of a company does something wrong,
The company.
most of the times we don't even remember the name of the employee. We remember the company. So that's going to say that this person from, for example, the JSC did this, right? And then we don't remember, we always remember that there was an employee at JSC that had this issue. And so we have to be just very mindful of how we position ourselves in these different spaces. There are amazing benefits. I mean, I think anyone has the potential to really level up their brand utilizing all of these platforms that are available. But you have to be mindful of how you're putting yourself out there, because this perception that you have built and that you're creating may be the only thing people see or the first thing people see, and they actually use that to make a decision if they want to do business with you, recommend you to somebody, have a conversation, or anything else.